Okay, so here is the binder where I am storing my plastics for Project Life. I love this binder a lot. I don't know if I'm going to be using this for Project Life or not. I may or may not. I was looking at purchasing the We Are Memory Keeper plastic leather one. Just because for future years, I just want to be consistent. And I feel like those are a little bit more normal size than this one, even though this one's great and I love it for holding my plastics right now. And this was graciously sent to me by Tiff. And I will put her name in the bottom bar. Hi, Tiff. So this is just where I'm also storing the layouts that I've done so far. As you can see, I haven't put anything here because, like I said, I'm not sure if this is what I want to use for Project Life or not. So let's go ahead and get started. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll just open this. I wanted to do something different for Project Life. I know that Becky Higgins makes dividers for each month, and I just decided that I wanted to do something a little different. So this is the 6x12 design. This isn't a design number. These are one of the new plastics that came out last summer. And what I'm wanting to do is on the front side, I think resolutions are great. Come beginning of the year, new start, it's, when everybody does them. But I feel like goals are kind of ongoing. Right now I'm not really worried about getting stuff ready for Thanksgiving. It's not a goal of mine in January. I did put some general goals for the year here, but my idea for every month start is to put kind of my goals for the month, things I want to accomplish. That way when I look back at years, I can see what it is that I wanted at that moment in time. So these are just some So-Delicious wood veneers, these brackets, and I just glued two together. These are American Craft stickers. They're the really pretty, like, white ones with the sparkles. And I wrote my goals for the year, goals for 2013, health, organization, cleaning out unused stuff, work on financial happiness, become better at both of my jobs, pay it forward when possible, and be good to myself. And I used some My Mind's Eye enamel dots. And then here are 2013 thickers from the same ones as January. This is a crepe paper tab. This is a piece from the Dear Lizzie collection. What was the one that came out last year with all these pastels? And this paper is also from the collection. And just another enamel dot. So that's my idea for the front of the page. And on the back, I wanted to put events that were happening that month. Kind of like a timeline. So here I have obviously the 1st, Happy New Year's. 2nd through the 6th, Nick and I went to Disneyland. So I have a wood veneer with a California wood veneer with a star. Where LA, I think LA is. I'm up here, this part of the state, and I think LA is down there. These are some arrows that came in a Studio Calico kit. These are some basic gray letters that also came in a Studio Calico kit. This is a Jenny Bolin sticker that came from this past month's kit. These are some American Craft stickers that I think are out for spring. They're really cool. They're like a pink foil. Between the 7th and the 10th, I was really sick. Actually, it was a little bit longer than the 10th. I was stricken with a super bad head cold and then had like an intestinal flu. It was really, really horrible. Of course, you have to put when you get your Studio Calico kit. My boyfriend's niece and nephew were baptized on the 13th. I was too sick to attend, but it was a really cool ceremony. The 21st is Nick and my anniversary, and this year we're celebrating 2 years together. Yay. And on the 22nd, this Nick switched jobs, which was great. He was working for a liquor distribution company, and now he's doing what he went to school for, which is drafting for architecture and stuff. And so I have been super inspired by Tracy, Mercy Tierra, of layering stuff. And I never thought that I was good at it. And I just thought, screw it, just try it. So here I've layered a couple things. I was going to put something on that label, but I didn't end up doing it. I cut this piece out of some of this Dear Lizzie paper. I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, you guys all know it. Everybody went crazy for it. And then Michael's came out with a pad of it. So this is a piece from that collection, Oh So Lovely. And I just layered some pieces. These are some stickers from Authentique. And they just spell out January. And that's something I want to run kind of consistent throughout the pages, through the months. And again, like I said, Tracy's been inspiring me. And her explanation of outlining so that things don't get lost totally makes sense to me. So you will see tons of outlining throughout this. This is also, this 22nd was from the most recent Studio Calico kit. And these are just some thickers that I bought recently. They're really sparkly gold. And the 13th as well. So that's kind of what I want to do for the opening page for the month. It's just something that kind of gives an overview of, you know, the month, goals that I want to achieve, things I want to do, and timelines, because I'm busy like all year round. There inevitably somebody's got a birthday, there's something that happened. So here's my week 1, kids. I thought Project Life was going to be a lot harder than it ended up being. And I love that because this is going to be, I think, one of my favorite forms of scrapbooking. And I was really excited because I purchased the Seafoam kit from Becky Higgins. And, you know, people get kind of pissy and go, oh, well, who are they to tell me how to use my Project Life? Nobody is here to tell you how to do Project Life. That's the beauty of Project Life, is that it is your project about your life. You can buy the kit from Becky Higgins and decide you don't want to use any of the papers, or you want to use the back side if it's plain or whatever. But let's see, I have it here. When you buy the kits, they give you some cards that they recommend for front page and back page. And so I went ahead and did that just because I wanted to get an idea of the Project Life layout, because this is my first time ever doing this. And so I did it, and then I decided, you know what, I'm not going to keep these the way they are. I had a particular way that I wanted to embellish, but I'm going to use the cards that are recommended for the pages. So I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself, but so here is my week 1 title card. This heart was in the Studio Calico kit. I did a little layering of a banner, some washi, and a My Mind's Eye Brad, and this little Amy Tangerine cloth flower that I never had no idea what the heck I was going to do with it, but found it. Found what I'm going to do. So week 1, American Craft Thickers, excuse me. They are the Subway font, I believe. They're foamy. This is one of the date cards from the Becky Higgins Seafoam kit. December 31st through January 6th, 2013. Happy New Year, everybody. And this is what I was talking about. This card originally is one of the suggested cards. So, you know, to each their own and how they want to do things. I opted to use it. So I took one of the 3x4 journaling cards from Becky Higgins that had these really great quotes, and I put Happy New Year. And these are the gold, I don't know the name of them. I should have done a product list, which I learned through Tracy as well. Tracy, you're such an inspiration to everybody. We love you. But they are gold chipboard thickers, and I thought they were very apropos, being New Year's. These are just a couple tidbits from October afternoon Woodland Park. I love the peacock feathers. I might have said this in a previous video, but Nick and I are very into like Great Gatsby, Speakeasy, kind of like 1930s. When we get married, and it's not happening soon, ladies, I don't have a ring yet, but when we do, we decided that we were going to have kind of a 1930s speakeasy theme. So yeah, and to me, I just feel like peacock feathers, New Year's Eve, it all kind of goes together. This is another piece that came in the Studio Calico kit. 2 enamel dots from My Mind's Eye, 2013, on just some paper that I cut out, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And these are Lily Bee designs. It was like their version of Tidbits, and that's a star and a pennant. And of course I outlined so that you could tell them apart. Okay. So this is, I have to be careful here. I like the way that we can fold them, but anyways. So here's a picture of me and my daddy. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw this picture. It's me and my dad ringing in the new year. I have my little tear on, and my dad and I rang in 2013 in style with our party hats and horns. We had a blast. And this is just from Lily Bee Design. And I punched a little heart out and a red enamel dot. And I have a My Mind's Eye fabulous sticker up there. And this is a Becky Higgins journaling card. Nick and I play bartender when we go to my dad's house. He's got a huge bar. And so Nick and I like to play bartender when we go. And so I just wrote about that, and I'm Greek. I'm half Greek, so ouzo is the big drink of choice. And then, okay, I'm going to continue down here because it kind of goes like this. Oh, here we go. So I have this arrow here, which came in one of the Studio Calico kits, and I am in love with these arrows, these vellum arrows. I have used almost all of them. And what I did was, because I didn't have any more room for 3x4s, I just went downward. So here's a picture of Nick and I. This is us playing bartender. This is my dad's bar behind us. And that cutout is from that heart for Lily Bee. And I just put Amazing Love Radiant, a enamel dot, a My Mind's Eye Brad, and a My Mind's Eye button. Get my triangle. And I sprinkled it with October Afternoon Sprinkler in Springs, I think, from the Woodland Park. Let's see how that can focus there. And so this journaling card goes with this photo. Top part says, Nick and I got to play bartender at Dad's New Year's Eve party. How fun. We made Cosmos, Johnny Walker, and water, and of course ouzo. And that correlates with this picture. And then this one says, my eye makeup turned out amazing. My awesome fake lashes and super gold glitter work was a hit. So that's represented by that picture. And like I said, the arrow going up to that. Okay, so January 2nd, Nick and I took our vacation down to Disneyland. And so here's a card. I took a 6x6 pad of paper. Doobie-doobie-doo. I can't remember it right now. Some October Afternoon tiny type sticky keys or whatever. One of my stamps, January 2nd. Nick and I flew down to Los Angeles for a vacation celebrating 2013 and our anniversary. We both love Disneyland and left Oakland on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And then 2 putty people made it on the card. And then this is an Amy Tangerine little airplane paper clip. I really love those. So, and this is, again, is another arrow situation. This is a picture of Nick and I. We ended up getting to the airport really early and we had a drink. So I decided to take a snapshot with my iPhone. And I printed this out. I think this is 2x3. veneer camera with another brad, some more bits and pieces from the Studio Calico kit, a brad from the Fifth and Frolic collection that says, see if we can read what it says. It says today. It's focusing on the stuff in the background. There we go. Today. And just a random peach. Oh, this is from, that paper was from the, I just had it in my head. It's going to come to me and I'm going to be like, oh crap, I need to tell them what it is. If it does, by the time I'm done with this, I'll note it. Some washi. Here's another one of those arrows. This top paragraph correlates with this picture. And then once in Anaheim, we needed a way to get around. Anaheim provides the art bus. We bought a 3-day pass for our trip to Disneyland. And that is what this arrow is pointing at right here. You buy these really great passes for like dirt cheap, and it gets you here, there, and everywhere. They've got bus stops all along like the main streets in Anaheim. Another date stamp. Just some more from the Woodland Park. And these are the letters from the newest Studio Calico kit. Okay. Now on to page 2, but some of it fell out. So give me a moment. Okay. There we go. So top part of this page, this pocket came in the Studio Calico kit, and I just put our hotel key. We stayed at the Hilton, Anaheim Hilton by the Convention Center. If you ever go to Anaheim, which I'm totally bummed because CHA was there the week after we were there, the Anaheim Hilton at the Convention Center is basically luxury at an affordable price. I think our rooms were like $120 a night, but I mean, the beds are like pillow top, fabulous place. We went to Disneyland for an extra day. They held our luggage, so we didn't have to like rent a locker or do any kind of thing like that. So shout out to the Hilton. Anyways, this is a Becky Higgins double journaling card from the Clementine collection, which I bought 2 collections to kind of vary throughout the year. And so this one's from the Clementine. American Craft, Dear Lizzie thickers. This is a tag from Studio Calico, some turquoise and yellow washi. I thought it was cool on the Argyle down here. Basically, talked about the hotel, an enamel dot. This is a picture of Nick and I in front of the big tree in Disney, California. One of the main reasons for us going so early after New Year's is that I wanted to see, I haven't seen Disneyland in Christmas form in a long time, and I love all their decorations. So as you can see, the tree is full of, like, if this thing wants to focus, ornaments and stuff. And it was quite chilly. It got down to like 39 degrees there in Anaheim, which is pretty cold for Los Angeles. But this is a piece of paper from Sleigh Ride by Crate Paper, and a tag from the collection as well, and a brad from, I want to say, Woodland Park collection, October afternoon. I don't know. Okay. Let's see how to do this here. I think I'm doing a good job. Here we go. Okay, so this is, this is what I wanted to talk about. This background piece of paper, I went to one of my favorite places in the world, and I've talked about it before, is the Paper Source. And they have, they're called Z cards? No. I can't remember, but they are 3 3/4 by, or 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So not exactly like a 3x4 card, but you can cut it down, which is what I did. Rounded the corners with my corner chomper and just made my own card. But I wanted one that was solid, that didn't have, you know, grids or lines or anything. So this is a picture from Instagram that I printed out. Nick and I decided to purchase annual passes, which, by the way, if you're a California resident and you frequent Disneyland a lot, this is the way to go. You can pay in installments. I'm like a walking ad tonight. You can pay in installments and you get tons of bonus features. 20% off buying merchandise, 15% off of paying for food. It's really phenomenal. And you don't have any blackout dates, and you can go when you want, and blah, blah, blah. So that's my whole spiel. And these are some foam thickers, and these are basic gray for Studio Calico a couple kits ago. They're kind of like a really pale blue. And this is just actually this is a flyer from October Afternoon 9 to 5. And I just put that in there for some dimension and an enamel dot. And here is a journaling card. And this is a Studio Calico wood veneer arrow, and I just covered it with some paper and used an X-Acto knife around it. And that correlates to that picture. And here, down here, I also did another arrow with da-da-da. So, and Nick wanted me to make sure that I showed you ladies this picture. He was like, make sure they see the Chewie picture. Nick is a huge Star Wars fan, and they have these hats of all the characters, and Chewbacca was one of them. And so he just looks so great, I decided to take a picture. So that's his Chewie hat. Over here, this is another, oh, this was also one of the cards from Paper Source. I got them in the paper bag color. This is another flyer back here, and these are those gold American Craft chipboard thickers. This is a Becky Higgins card, and I just wanted to kind of keep this playing, so I wanted to focus on the picture. And I like that here is the story. When we were in Disney California, there's a section of the park that deals with illustration, and that's Nick's biggest passion in life. He likes to draw and stuff. So we went to a lecture on how to draw Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. And this was actually my drawing, and I was so impressed. Let's see if I can focus here. Okay, it's not going to like super focus for me like it should. But that's pretty good, right? And I drew the Mickey ears on him. So that was that. And here's just a piece of We Are Memory Keeper, or damn, My Mind's Eye. No, We Are Memory Keepers washi with the date. And then down here, just some pictures. I had some glow-in-the-dark mini ears, some wash that came in the kit this month. This is also a Becky Higgins journaling card. Today is good. Nick and I making kissy faces at the camera. And then Nick and I at dinner. Whoa! Hit the camera. Nick and I at dinner, we go to Blue Bayou, which is off of Pirates of the Caribbean. And we love that restaurant, so we went there twice. These are some American Craft thickers that came in a kit, I believe, a while ago. Some blue washi. And this pink and gray is from October Afternoon Farmhouse collection. And this card with the journaling, I cut it off right here, and Today is Good is right here. And that's what was on this part. Okay, almost done. I promise. So these are also part of Becky's new plastics, and they are intended for Instagram photos. So that's pretty much what I used them for. This is some Fifth and Frolic paper. This is a label from My Mind's Eye Caroline collection, and also from My Mind's Eye with some enamel dots. And this just says happy. And there's Nick and I, and then it's one of these programs on your phone that you can do, like diptych or whatever. And so the heart is in the middle of us. This is actually the picture from Nick and I at the airport. And I split it, and the castle's right there. So I thought that was really cute. This is probably my favorite picture that we took that whole trip. Not just because I look really awesome with red lipstick on, but I just thought it was really sweet and it was really candid. Some more of that October Afternoon Farm paper. The Dear Lizzie Neapolitan, thank you. The Dear Lizzie Neapolitan collection. And then a wood veneer heart. And I just kind of want to leave that playing because I wanted the focus to be on the picture because it's a really great picture. And this one was just ridiculous, but it absolutely had to happen. So I thought I was super fly and took a picture of myself with my banging red lips on our way to Disneyland. And this is a journaling card back here that I just put it horizontal. This is some leftover paper from that sleigh ride by Crate Paper. 2 hexagon wood veneers. These crazy things that came in the Studio Calico kit. And I thought, what the heck am I going to do with those? Well, holla! I figured it out. And some yellow washi. I did kind of a plaid theme up and across. And my first, what are these called? I things. Damn. I'm sorry, you guys. It's been a long day. Badge. It's a badge is what it is, right? Cool. So that was the end of week 1. Week 2, I know you're like, oh my God, Alex, this video is probably like 30 minutes long already. Get over it. But week 2, I promise, will not take very long. Presenting to you week 2. Week 2, I had come down with a horrible head cold, intestinal flu, and I was literally down for a week. Like, I didn't go back to work until January 14th. That's how bad it was. So these are some American Craft foam thickers, a heart that I punched out. This is from that stack of paper that I can't remember. Autumn Wood from someone. I can't think of it right now. I'm totally brain farting. And so I cut out some hearts. This hexagon, it's a half of a hexagon. And like a tab from the Studio Calico kit. And this is a bottom of that sleigh ride paper. It's like a strip of it. So I just used that. This is basically just a piece of that from that pad that I can't remember. Another Brad. A journal card basically talking about how sick I was. I had a fever. I wasn't feeling good. I was put on this thing called the Brat diet. Bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast. It was quite all right. But when your stomach hurts, you don't really feel like eating. And so I just did minimal embellishing. And then things I did while sick. And you can't really see because it's really faint. This was a Becky Higgins journaling card, and this also is a Becky Higgins journaling card. And it basically talked about all the things that I did while I was sick. And slept is on there like 5 or 6 times. This is some Fifth and Frolic paper and a tag from Studio Calico, a label tab from Crepe Paper, and I wrote blech because that's literally how I felt.